What is going on, everybody? Luke here. In today's video we're going to be going over a question I was asked in the group last week. Actually, I put a comment out. Anyone want to tell me what kind of videos you want to actually see so that I can basically blitz through them over the coming weeks, over the Christmas period, so that people are a bit more confident in what they're doing. So the question that I'm going to start with, or the video that I'm starting with, is how to avoid or spot scams and bad buys. Now, I'm not going to be talking about bad buys itself, like how do you even go and analyze a product. You always think about Amazon. How do you analyze an NFT to decide if it's actually good or not? Because that can be, well, sometimes it's like, well, you can go off for the data, but you've got to see. Ultimately, that experience does pull through, but we're not going to go into that because that'd be like a 3-hour video. So we're just talking about how to spot scams and bad buys in terms of you don't want to be buying something if it's a scam. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be touching on. So the very first thing we're going to talk about OpenSea, Discord, and Google. So probably the easiest thing to start with is OpenSea. Now, OpenSea is usually is used with Ethereum. If you want to actually see, you can see Ethereum. You can't use any other stuff, sort of crypto like Cardano or Solana. They have their separate NFT platforms, so I'm not going to be touching on that because I don't use it. Not to say that I won't in the future, but this is the current largest platform for NFTs, and most big projects, most new projects go on to Ethereum. And not to say that it will be like that forever, but that's the state of play, and so I will start with that. So once you start sort of buying and selling NFTs, and it may happen earlier, it may happen later, what you will potentially get is you'll have a collection here, which is your stuff you're buying and selling, and minting and all that kind of thing, and then you'll actually find that you have a hidden section. This used to be included in here, but now they've actually separated it. So if we click into hidden, what it actually means is you're given, or airdrops they call it, where you're sent basically NFTs. You don't pay for them, you don't even know they're coming. They just appear in here randomly, and every so often I come in to see what is even in here, yeah? You know, it's just pictures basically. Now, I have to decide, because sometimes it could be a real NFT, you know, just to clarify, these are all NFTs, but when I mean real, I mean it's either a project that I'm expecting an airdrop on, because what can happen is if you are like a supporter of a project, sometimes you are given gifts or either presents. It could be like a Christmas present, it could be it's actually expected. So we're going to be launching something in 3 months. If you hold this, you get given X. Yeah, that's kind of like what happens. And it may be that it is sent into here. And if you just discard this and never even look, it could be that you are sort of missing out on valuable NFTs that, yes, they may not be worth anything right now, but if it's free, why not just keep it and leave it? And if it's worth something later, great. If it's not, who cares? But again, you don't also want to be using all these NFTs and be like, yeah, let's sell them all, because there can be pitfalls and scams associated with doing that. So you have to decide how you're going to differentiate between what's good and bad. And what I mean by good and bad is that even if it looks good, I'm going to go, oh yeah, it's good, I'm going to keep that, I'm going to sell it. I mean, is it something that you know you're expecting or you should be getting? So what I did this morning is I went in and I actually moved about 4 into my normal collection. I just basically said unhide, or, yeah, something like that. And what you can see here, this one, and there's this one here. Now actually that's been there for ages, and it only really sort of delved into it recently to realize, but ultimately I got one like this. So I was like, oh, what's this? And actually I looked at the collection. So what I do is I'll go ahead and click into it like this, and I'll just show you what I mean. So interacting like this isn't going to also do anything, as long as you don't actually, I'll explain later, but you know, you can go in here and have a look. So I was like, oh, interesting. So this is what I would do. I'll go ahead and I'll go, transfer can literally be person that is airdropping you. So the reason they do this is it's basically free. The reason it's free is because they're sending it on ETH, but on the Polygon network. Now that's a tell that it might not be something that you should be touching. If it's standard Ethereum, now that you can see this is a purple, yeah. Now when you're buying and selling, it's in a black, and it just says ETH when you highlight it. You can just highlight them, and then it will look like that, ETH on Polygon. Now that's because on here there's fees, and here there isn't. Now what that means is if people are sending you stuff, and they're sending, you know, if this person's sending 500, the owners section, 591 people an NFT, because that's many people own one of these, then he'll be paying, or she will be paying lots of fees. And if it's free, then obviously they're out of pocket. So what they do is, or people can do, or companies can do, is they can send it on the Polygon network to avoid the fees, which is fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Polygon network is a very good network, and it has basically no fees. So there's not a problem with that. It's just that they're doing it so that they can either try to get you to interact with this NFT to scam you, or maybe they want to get out like a Series 1 of their NFTs because they're just having fun and they want to get it into the a collection on the market and see if people actually are interested. It might be that it's their first NFT and they're just getting used to the platform. They're launching it, they're sending it out to people. You know, for example, they could send it out to real big whales, people who collect, you know, have millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of NFTs, and people can go, well, you can have a look at their contracts. And what I mean by that is that every single person that has an account or an Ethereum wallet, you can go and have a look at their activity and you can see what they're doing. And see, it says minted. It kind of looks like that when you let's see if I can find something that is actually like this. Oh no, that was me. They may have moved it. It used to show up in here, but I haven't actually, when I looked earlier, I haven't noticed it for a while. Yeah, I think that they're getting better is what they're doing. They're kind of sussing on that people are getting scammed and they're trying to isolate the method that it's accessible, so people don't get scammed later. But it used to show up in here. And what it used to do, it used to basically say that this person has minted something. It looked like that, but they hadn't. They had been sent it and it looked like they'd been minted it. And people like me could go, oh my God, that guy's like massive. Why is he minting all of these? Maybe I should buy some, you see? And then lots of people do that. And then the project actually gets bought and then they make their money, that NFT creator, on the royalties. So most projects have between 2.5 and 10% royalties to every sale, and they could make traction that way. And even if they made like a couple of ETH, it was free for them to make. They've made like 10 grand, yeah? And there's different ways. There's also a scam where they create NFTs like this, and then what they do is they get you to interact with it. So for example, you go into this. Well, interacting is not what I'm not clicking, but they might go, oh look, I can sell it for like $2, or maybe they will say $15 or $20, and you'll go on and you'll be like, oh, that's listed, let's sell, let's get rid of them, let's sell them all and make $50 or whatever, £50. Now what happens if you actually click into this? I don't really want to do it. I'm sure I'll be fine if I click that button, but every time you do a sell, a buy, cancel, or bid, all that kind of thing, it pops up with MetaMask. Now what I mean by it pops up with MetaMask is I'll just go in and I'll just try to I'll interact with something I already have. So you can see, I click sell. Now it doesn't happen on this very, you know, it doesn't happen on here, but if I'm going to create some fake, I'm selling it for 2 ETH, I don't know, no, it's not worth that. Whenever I complete listing or basically get to the point where I'm submitting something, this pops up, right? So let me just drag it in a bit. MetaMask signature. So if you sign something, you want to make sure that every time you click sign, for everything you do, you are looking at the origin, and that is the origin that you are definitely sure is right, because it could actually be that this happens on a website, it happens on anything that you need to transact with your wallet and your balance is gonna cause you to have a signature request. And if you actually would sign this on a dodgy NFT, what the person that's basically in the background that you can't see here is that you give them access to your account. That's what happens. So they'll actually be able to go in and basically log into your MetaMask, go in here and sell all your NFTs, or transfer your NFTs out, or sell them all, and then send themselves all the money, and that's it, leave you. Because this MetaMask is not, what's the word? Like, you don't have any identity behind it. You can just create it. You don't have to do a KYC, which is know your customer. You don't have to put passports and all that kind of thing. You could bounce your IP around the world, sorry, like five different pings of the IP address or whatever, and no one can find you. Again, it's not really regulated, this market. You can't go to MetaMask and go, look, cool, you know, the special crypto society or whatever, and you know, that's it. You're screwed, basically. There's no way to get your money back or anything. So that is something you got to be careful with. So every time I'm interacting, whether it's on, you know, Cypher over here and I'm depositing some money to get some staking rewards, even though I'm on the Cypher website, it's not impossible that this is a fake website, just like you can do on like HSBC. You know, that you see it on the TV, don't interact with it. It's like HSBC, yeah, that makes it. But you know, the ones that have like a dash in between. Same when you get the emails and it's a scam email, but it has like a dash, HSBC-bank.com or something, you know. People get scammed because you log in and you're basically giving them your details, like with banking, but with this, you're giving them your access to your account. Same thing, just looks different, yeah? So you want to be careful there, because if you interact with the wrong one, or if you just don't know, I would leave it in hidden. Now, the reason that I've actually pulled out this one, I'll explain, just so you can actually see my thought process. So I was looking at the hearts, so that isn't a lot, but you know, you want to see a lot. Basically, when it's just one in a collection, what that means is everybody got the same, and it's just in a big list. So if you want to sell it or buy it, it's just one after another. This person's, yeah, these are being listed, so you can buy this one, then you could buy that, then you could buy that. Obviously the price goes up because it's the same item. So if you actually read it, this Nyla girl, she's like a 12-year-old girl, who did like a collection. You can go and have a look on their website, but it doesn't mean that that website is necessarily, you know, I could create this, attach her website, and it looks legit, but it's not actually. But if I was just reading it, and basically she's given a free airdrop to, I was just having a quick look here, null address. Usually says that. She's giving basically a free airdrop to people for Christmas. Now the reason that I'm okay with that is because I have a long necky lady here, which is from her. She has a collection created by the Nyla Hayes collection, whatever. Yeah. And so I knew that was okay. Now, I also know that this was okay, even though, look at it, the volume is non-existent, the floor is non-existent, and there's like 1 million owners, and is it even in, I don't even know what it's in, I don't even know what the, but basically I actually went on to a whitelist, or I basically just wanted to get a free NFT. Yeah, you can see it's on Polygon as well, so like not a red flag necessarily, but a caution flag more than anything on that, because most things run off standard Ethereum. Like it looks like that, yeah, and it can look like rat teeth as well. Don't be panicked by rat teeth. Now the rat teeth looks like this, WETH, and it looks like a pink one. It basically means that if you're going to do offers, best offer, so someone offered me that, someone can offer you money, but it's probably below what you're asking for it or something. But if it's, if it's a big project, if you put it for 50 ETH, this is what happens. If it's for 50 ETH and someone offers you 45, it's like, you got to weigh up, is that still profitable, XYZ, and you might want to say no and just leave it, and that will, you don't have to touch it, it just expires. But that is how you do offers. You cannot offer through normally, so you've got to be careful on that point. But I knew that I actually went on to this collection. Well, I basically went and registered myself to be airdropped for free, and I got these two. Now, these are worthless, but I put them in there for now because, I did. Like, they're not going to do anything. But I saw this. So this was also in my activity. And again, you can click on it. It's just when you actually interact with the sell and all that kind of thing. Weird that I can't even sell it, but oh well, I wasn't going to. And I was like, this looks like crap, like, who created this? It's not even someone that's tried. But actually, then I highlighted this. Actually, no, what I did is you can do it, you can click on through that, but I highlighted this, and you can see it's Decentraland wearables on the Polygon network. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's legitimate, because I don't know the ins and outs of, can you just list on any collection? I believe no, but again, I'm no expert yet. I'm still early in the days. I'm pretty sure you have to obviously have, whoever created this has to accept them in, otherwise anyone could just chuck anything into every collection, which has never happened. But if you want to go into it, I basically went into this, because you can have it inspect, is what I was doing. I looked here and I was like, oh, I know what Decentraland is, and then I was looking at it, Meta Guardians, and I was like, oh, well, I got something that's like a Meta Guardian. I got something down here called a Guardians of the Metaverse. Yeah, look, created by Meta Guardian bots. So again, I was like, oh, maybe they're just airdropping me something because I hold that, you see? So you have to build up a, like when you're doing keeper chart analysis, and like you're trying to figure out if it's a listing you want to sell on. And anyway, I clicked in through here, and I went in here, and I went down here, and I went to rarity, rare, because I got a rare, and I want to go and confirm, do these look the same? Pretty much, yeah, they look the same. Not the exact same one I got, fair, but then you can go to activity and go, is it a popular thing? And you can see this is being bought, and things are being bought and sold like from different people all the time. 13 hours ago, blah blah blah. It's got 124 volume owners, crazy. And for me, it's got a verification. For me, this was a tick mark to say, okay, it's actually not a dodgy NFT. But again, it's not worth anything, so I'll just leave it in there. And there was a couple of other things. This one, now, this is worthless again. Wow, it's like $10 a game. This is worth something. But I was like, what is this? This looked the worst to me. I was like, this looks terrible. But then when I looked into it, I was like, oh, okay. And I used to hold a, I don't know, something. Back in the day, crypto, I don't know what it's called. This person seems to have actually given us a free airdrop. And the reason that they're doing it on Polygon is because it's free. So if they're more likely to give free stuff after, as like either free gifts, or maybe they've said they're going to do an airdrop. I got given this PD Halloween one because I own this thing. Just as a thank you, or extra. Just basically anything that can anything that's for free is like cool to have. And sometimes, like, if it's actually going to be a good NFT, that has utility, like it actually does something, like it, you know, if you're playing a game, like it's like a companion to your, you know, a pet or something that you're using, then obviously that could people will actually buy the originals because they want to get the airdrop, yeah. But if this airdrop wasn't hidden, you would never know because you don't look. But also, you don't want to be going into the hidden and finding the wrong ones and getting confused and then trying to sell it, and then someone gets access to your account and you're screwed. So that's also works good too. Anything you're not going to look to flip instantly is to send it to another wallet or like a ledger. And I can do separate videos into all that. It's just so that if you did get hacked, it's like a very small proportion of your stuff that's going to get taken, rather than everything. And you've got to be careful. Obviously, first you don't even want to get to that point. You don't want to day 2 get hacked or whatever, because you just saw all these free NFTs and you're like, oh my god, they're free. Like I can make like $50, and it's actually one of them's a scam, yeah. And there might be that none of them are, but I've heard stories on Discord where people have ended up giving access away to their account, and then they see all their stuff transferred out, because you can actually see on the activity stuff being transferred. So enough of that. I'm sure there's plenty more points, but this is enough to get you started. Discord. So in Discord, this is where everyone chats about each project, yeah? So let's say you are in, let's go in here quickly. This is a cool one. The Alien Secret Society, yeah? So before I even buy anything, I'll always just go into the Discord and have a look what's going down. So this is not Grey Boys. Alien Secret Society, there it is. And I'll look in the announcements, and I'll look in the chats, and I just watch people, you know, I just see like the vibe. You know, you don't want people going, hey, this guy said he was going to do something, but I think he's a scammer, like the main CEO, like you know, he's got a weird dodgy Twitter or something, and he's fake. You know, those are the things to spot out for before you go and buy something. But in the meantime, what can happen is people can actually go into these general and spam fake links. So you might see it looks like it's from someone that's like an admin, but it's not. And it will say, click this for like the minting process. Don't click it. Do not click it. Nothing that is in Discord, you click. Like a link to mint something, yeah? Now you can, and it's not going to do the same thing as what I just told you, but ultimately it will take you to a fake website. You'll go through the whole process of minting, and then what's going to happen is someone will actually just take your money, and that's it. You'll send basically someone money in the mint process, and you won't get anything. So a guy that I know called Jim Davies, I'm sorry for shouting you out here, hopefully he doesn't watch this video. Within about 3 days, he got scammed because he saw a link in a Discord, he clicked it, he then lost $300 or £300, whatever one he was doing, probably dollars because everything's in dollars. And I was like, what was the link? He sent it to me, and I was like, mate, have you looked at the HTML? You can clearly see that there's a word that doesn't make sense. It was like Monaco Yacht Club, or maybe it was that one, or Monaco Boat Club, or whatever it's called. And like boat was B-A-O-T. No, that is spelled boat. Literally, without me writing it down, I can't even change the letters to make it sound wrong. Like party could, yeah, one of the, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Monaco something. But one of our billionaires, now is it a billionaires? I don't know what it is. Billionaires something club. And one of the letters is switched around. And obviously most people will just read it and their brain fills it in and like, yeah, that looks good. But if you read it, it's wrong. So that's why I like to always, like, if I was on Cypher here, I'll just be going like, you know, SISP.xyz, yeah. And obviously, and normally what I would do if I was looking for the proper website is I would find them on OpenSea. They're not always going to be there, but let's say they are, and then I would go to the website directly from here. That is usually the way that I'll do it. Rather than, and if they're not on here yet because they're very early, then I will go to the Discord and I will use the link that is in the announcements. So for example here, I'll go to the top, or it will be under official links, yeah. The different places, and I'll basically go and check, and I'll actually again make sure it says aliensecretsociety.com. Yes, it does, and I will open it up. Yeah, I'll go ahead and open it up. Now the reason I will also check here is because you can get hackers, and the hackers will go in and they'll change these details, and it will take you to a scam website. You would be scammed. Again, they wouldn't have access to your account like the first example, but they will be able to get you to mint something, and you won't get anything, and you'll send them the money. So thirdly, you can just go into Google, but the problem with this is, again, you could get a scam one at the top, for example. So if I found it on OpenSea like this, I would go into it, and I would then actually go and use the website on here if it came up. And the third one, all of these are going to like confuse the hell out of you. Or the fourth one is that this itself could be a fake collection. Yeah. Now, the things that I kind of mentioned earlier is I spot, is the volume good? That's 1,300 Ethereum. at a price of like $4,000 per one Ethereum. So you've got to work out how much volume in cash has gone through this project. You know, if it's like one Ethereum, it's very terrible, like non-existent. It could be a scam. Like if the floor could be anything. If the owners and the items are not as expected, like it says here, collection of, and it's normally around 10,000, 6,000, 12,000, 8,000. If it's like 290, you know, and you can easily find the fake ones in the search bar, and a lot of the time the fake ones will always pop up over the real ones. So their search function obviously is non-existent. So I think it was called Midnight Breeze. Midnight Breeze. Now, look here. Look at all these collections. The collection means like what we were on just now, like this page of the collection. So, oh, you might be like, oh, that's got a lot of items in. Let's click this one. All right, remember what I taught you. Volume traded. Well, 0, so it's even worse. 0 is like the biggest tell. Floor price, you don't necessarily know, but if I know I'm minting it or buying it off the website basically at release for 0.1, it's probably not going to already suddenly be at 0.02. Not to say it doesn't, but you know, you normally have some sort of similar price, unless there is, not in all cases, but in most general cases, yeah. Only in like crazy projects where they're going to be amazing. There's actual, they can go crazy. There was one called Mechaverse. It was like half an ETH, or I don't know, whatever it was to mint, 0.3 or 0.2 I think it was. And the cheapest was like 6 ETH about a day later. And now it's worth 0.82 ETH. So lots of people were buying them for 20 ETH and then they lost it. And now they're selling it for 1 ETH. So that's a good couple $100,000 loss, whatever it is. But oh well. We're not talking about that, but you get what I mean. So this looks really, really dodgy. One person owns 857 of them. That's probably not right. The floor price is no trade. They look like this. Oh, look, it's ETH on Polygon. What a shock. But if you want to find the real one, I can actually go there because I have the collection. I've got 4 of the collection. I can just go ahead, and actually that's what it is. But I can go ahead into this. I can then go into Midnight Breeze here, and I can find it. 340, yeah. Floor price, owners, yeah, that's what I want to be seeing. Oh, we can actually see the collection. Good. We can go and have a look at the website. It looks very similar, yeah. And then any random person might not even know the difference. Like, oh, this is, you know, this is cheap or something. I don't know what they're going to do. But what I would do myself is I would actually go into here. I would go and find Dutch Tide. I would go and go official links. I would then go, oh, there it is. And I'd find it that way. Rather than blitzing through the search bar, you know, if... That's just, you know, I'm typing Mechaverse here. Yeah, like that is actually the correct one. It has got a tick. It has a lot of NFTs. We want to see thousands. This one has, you know, 72. But if we play around, you know, with the collections, like there's definitely ones that are very, very similar. You know, I just want to. This laptop's terrible. Yeah, like I'm just trying to see, but maybe not. No, I can't really see. I'm not going to waste the time. But you'll see it on many collections that you can never even. I think in Neo Tokyo. Oh, they've got. So what they like to do is they like to get that verification tick, but not every collection can get it instantly. It's not a fast thing. But you can see the number of things inside. It's got a tick. Good. But they used to be that when you click this, all of the options were fake, and people just go and buy junk. It happens a lot, and you can even see it. Actually, that's the perfect example. That this is like an absolute interesting fake. So we're going to go to Fuckrender. Yes, that's a real person's name. Well, alias name, I guess. We're going to go to this. There was, it may have gone by now. We want to go to, yes, we want to take this, boom, copy. We want to go to NFT boxes. We want to paste it in here, and we want to click buy now. Oh no. ultimately what happened is someone put in a fake collection in the same collection. Maybe they've moved it. The problem is they sometimes move these things to make it more organized, but the issue comes that, let's do that. The issue comes, yeah, this is better. Let's hit buy now. It may have gone, may have been reported, so people can report. Yeah. So what you actually found, that was really interesting, is that a good while ago, the cheapest one of this one here was in, guess what it was in? Polygon and ETH. But it looked the same, and the only thing that you could see that was different, the title here, Movement Aurea or whatever, it was actually this one, this version, Astral. It was not NFT boxes here. And if you go into it, so this is also something I do before I mint. If I know what I'm trying to mint, I want it or buy, I look at the created by here, and I want to make sure that the one I'm buying is the same creator. So I'll go in, it matches. If it's a different one, or it's not NFT linking to NFT boxes, or you notice it's either on Polygon, something weird, then it's probably a scam, because I don't know how it got on there. You can report them and stuff. Doesn't look like anything's on there now, but there's scams everywhere basically. But only because I do Amazon, and I know all the different, I know there's red flags everywhere on everything. So for me, it was pretty, interesting almost to start flicking through it and seeing what's going on. And I'm sure there'll be more scams coming up. OpenSea are getting better. They're hiding stuff, but again, there is some things that if you are just aware of what you might be getting, it's worth maybe even just jumping into the Discord and finding out. If you see, for example, that you've got an airdrop, yeah, one of these or one of these, you can actually go into the Discord and just say openly, hi guys, was that airdrop for the Nyla collection thank you card correct? Was it is that a legitimate one? And there might be an announcement to say in the announcement section that they're doing an airdrop, and it will be on the Polygon network. Normally that kind of thing is told, and you can go and check, but not that you're going to always be checking the Discord and stuff to find out. And again, it doesn't mean that this is actually going to sell at this price, because, for example, there's no trading volume. So again, this isn't a massive red flag, but when things have just been dropped to you, there's probably not going to be any volume, and it's probably too high a price. I mean, this probably sells it. This will probably sell at 20 quid, but it's not going to sell at 300. But who knows? If it's kind of like extras for free, keep it. It might be worth a couple of, it might be worth like 0.1 ETH at some point, which is, I don't know, a couple hundred quid. But a couple hundred quid for doing nothing. That could be the perfect play. Or leave them in your hidden until you're more comfortable with actually figuring out what's what, and then go back later and just do a cleanse. You can't delete them, which is the most annoying thing. So this will just get bigger and bigger. So you don't want to obviously wait forever, but it's interesting just to kind of have a look at what these are. Because even like that, the floor is 0.4 ETH. People are trading this, but it's still under 1 ETH. It needs to have, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's crap if it's 1 ETH, because it could just be an airdrop and no one traded it. So it's not just one thing to look at. It's like when you're with Amazon, it's not one thing to look at, but I would keep that to the back burner until you're a little bit more confident with the whole process. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there, everyone. Any other questions you've got about scams or issues, let me know, because I probably have missed some things. Roughly, that is an overview as much as I can get out without spending 2 hours on a video. So hopefully you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.